The Gospel of Gold by G.S. Lewis. Karen waved at Will, gracing him with a plastic smile. "You're awfully quiet over there. For what it's worth, I was going to apologize for not letting you in on the plan. But," she said, shrugging, "it's just as well that I didn't, since you proved unreliable. It's a shame, really. You should have my thanks for bringing home the gold. But here Koga tells me that you're a traitor. What do you have to say for yourself?" Will said nothing, but kept his face downturned. Karen's smile turned sickly sweet. "Perhaps I should rephrase the question. If Koga says you're a traitor and you answer nothing, why shouldn't I kill you?" She pointed at Gold and Marina. "These two are already dead. They were crushed to death under the burning bell tower in Ekritique. Their accident was due to knowing what you now know. So, are you going to suffer an accident?" Any and all bravado left Will. He gave a high whimper, and his slack shoulders began to tremble uncontrollably.
"God, man," grumbled Koga with disgust. "Have some dignity."
"Will, you can teleport!" Gold cried before he could stop himself. "Go, now! Tell everyone what's going on!"
I can't!
Will bleated, choking on a sudden, enormous sob.
"This has all gotten so far beyond what I signed up for. I never wanted kids to die, but that heartless woman has opened her mind to me, and I see it. She'll kill you the moment I disappear. There is no spell of Silver's upon her, and there never was. There's nothing but thoughts filled with murder."
"She'll kill us anyway!" Gold gasped, his heart hammering painfully. As he said it, his thoughts turned to his father grieving, and Marina's mother frantic with fear. His own death did not trouble him, but thinking of those they would leave behind made him sick with sorrow. "Don't give up! Remember the goldberry trees!" cried Marina from her corner. Her voice, too, was lined with terror, but even with the end so near, she remained faithful and brave. Claire watched on in revulsion. Karen looked morbidly amused. "The trees, the sign," murmured Will, his voice steadying. He took a shuddering breath. "I wish I could have seen them with my own..." He stopped short. With a sudden noise of exclamation, Will threw off his mask, revealing his mismatched blue and green eyes. To Gold's astonished delight, they were focused and in sync as he stared down at his own hands. "I can see," he whispered to himself in wonder. "I can see! I can see!" The three league conspirators looked at him bemusedly, none comprehending the meaning of his radical behavior shift. But Gold's heart swelled with renewed hope, and it washed away the terrible despair that had nearly drowned him. A miracle had taken Will's sight, and a miracle had restored it. Even in this darkest hour, a higher power remained at work. "You can see?" repeated Karen blandly. "See what?" Will looked up at her, and he stood straighter, squaring his shoulders. "That I was meant to see tomorrow," he proclaimed. "So I will not die tonight, and neither will these children!" He put out a sheltering arm, signaling his resolve to protect Gold and Marina. "I know now where I stand. Between you and them!" Karen, Koga, and Claire exchanged confused glances. Koga was the first to shrug.
He's cracked,"
muttered the ninja.
"A broken will, if you'll pardon the pun."
Karen's eyes narrowed. Has Petrol reached Olivine City?
I'm watching the feed live. It should be any minute now.
Good. Put it up. Karen's fingertips drummed loudly on the arm of the throne. Let's give him some perspective before we feed him to Claire's Gyarados. This moment doesn't feel right. The screen switched to another camera view, once more placed very conveniently so that the entirety of Olivine Lighthouse was visible. Clearly, whoever had set this job up had been in the know about what would happen. Wait for it, Claire murmured under her breath, staring at the monitor with unblinking fascination. Karen spared Gold one curious flick of eye contact. This isn't Will's first psychotic episode, but I wouldn't be surprised if you had something to do with it, little Gold. Well, it's no skin off my nose. You are here, and Olivine is off the western shore. Let's see you pull a miracle now. Gold hadn't healed Will, but the elite had been restored nonetheless, as he now stared fervently at the screen. There's something bright encircling the lighthouse from above, he breathed, pointing at the screen. Claire laughed. Of course there is! It's a lighthouse, you dunce! But Karen did not appear amused. They never installed a bulb in there, she muttered in an unsettled tone. Unless they found a new... Ooh! Here it comes! Crowed Claire, pointing excitedly. That house is about to get real lit! I can see Petrol on his Charizard! Gold barely heard her. He, too, could see what Will saw, and it wasn't a worldly light. There was a golden halo hanging just above the lighthouse's peak, and it was moving off-center to their right. Just as Charizard moved within striking range, a yellow creature appeared on the balcony outside the upper room. No, Gold heard Karen breathe in a choked gasp. Impossible! A millisecond before the monitor lit up, Gold thought he saw lightning fall from the sky. The following thunderclap must have been so loud that it distorted the audio before the feed failed entirely. All that remained was a fuzzy gray screen of distorted pixels. That was Jasmine's Ampharos, he realized in wonder. Amphi had a protective ward, and he just saved Olivine City. For the next few seconds, the champion's peak fell to silence of muted shock, broken only by the cold wind. Karen's disbelief slowly turned to indignation, and then to a palpable hate as her smoldering gaze fell upon Gold. I only revived him this morning, Gold said defensively, putting up his hands. I had nothing to do with what just had revived him. Revived him? She screamed, jerking upright from her throne. That animal was dead and buried! I ordered it so! You can't just... Karen stopped, took a deep, hissing breath, then reached down into her bodice. She withdrew a yellow hexahedron, which she held in one hand, while the other produced a Pokeball. All right, breathed the Dark-type master, going from fiery to icy in her wrath. Is that how it's going to be? Then I'll just revive Umbreon here, and then I'll order him to bite out your throat, like this! She clenched her hand into a claw that resembled jaws, and with it, crushed the medicine in her hand to powder. And then, I will rip away your esophagus while everyone watches, and wear it as a necklace. And then what? You'll use his other parts as components for your witchcraft? Came a new voice from the screen. It rang with command. Stop talking! If you try any of what you just said, I will not suffer you to live a minute longer. Marina's eyes widened with joy at the sound of the voice, and Gold felt a rush of excitement. Karen and Claire, by contrast, went white as a bone, and Will stared at the screen in disbelief. Where there had been static before, a new image bloomed. The face of Champion Lance, alive and well.